Hello friends, and welcome to my channel once again. It's nice seeing you guys, and we thank God for a new week. Today is Monday the 25th of March 2024. How you all doing? I hope you're all doing fine. So let's jump straight into it. Basically, there's a new trend here in Canada where I reside, and because of this new trend, I actually decided to do this video. So probably to help one or two persons out there. Found out that most people, especially from the Caribbean, from Africa, and from some part of Asia that are coming into Canada now, actually coming in with a temporary resident visa. Probably you want to call it visitor's visa. So basically, a visitor's visa or a temporary resident visa is a visa that they just give you to come and visit. After your visitation, you go back. And when such visas are issued, probably for people that are coming for holidays, vacation, and all that. And for most countries, you are not expected to stay in the country you are visiting for more than 6 months. If you want to stay for more than 6 months, you can ask for extension, or you have to leave the country before the 6 months elapse, and you can come back again. Maybe you go across the border, just like maybe Canada and US. You can go into US, then maybe just like round what's it called, flag pulling, just go into the US, then turn back, and so they stamp it as if you are just coming in afresh, and a new 6 months starts counting. But that's not the bone of this video. I noticed most of our friends from Africa, especially West Africa, that are coming to Canada especially, they come with this visitor's visa or temporary resident visa. The whole idea is what they have in their mind is, let me just get into Canada. And the thing is, by the time I get into Canada, whatever happens from there, I just pick it up from there. But basically, if you are traveling to any foreign country, especially as an immigrant, and you don't have a proper plan, you are really going to suffer. That's just the truth. There's no two ways about it. You know, traveling to a foreign country as an immigrant, basically, if you don't have plans, because one, immediately you land, bill starts rolling. Nobody's going to carry you probably maybe in a taxi or anything free of charge. You have to pay. Hardly you see anybody that want to come and keep you in their house. Even if you see someone, they won't keep you for too long. You have to get your own place and you start paying. Food is not free. You have to buy food. You have to pay for your transportation. You have to pay for groceries, internet, all those stuff. So they don't come cheap. So, and if you don't have a proper plan, you just jump on the plane and you land without a specific plan, then you are going to suffer. And by the time you realize and maybe start adjusting, it would have been probably too late. So I'm doing this video to help those that probably find themselves in Canada and maybe with a temporary resident visa, or maybe you want to call it a visitor's visa. So if you find yourself in that category, here are 6 things that visa can help you do to remain in Canada. Basically, if you don't know, it may be more than 6, but these are the 6 major ones. So basically, the first and foremost that I have here on my list is, immediately you land in Canada, depending on what your plans are, you can declare asylum. That's the first one. And you can declare asylum from the first from the airport, or probably you go to a shelter and declare asylum at the point of entry. Most people, at least I know most people here in Canada, especially from Nigeria, that are here in Canada and they are citizens already. The ones that are not citizens are permanent residents, and they all came with visitors visa. Some just crossed from the US border into Canada, and today they are citizens. So the thing is, you need to there's a video I did, probably I'll put the link here so you see it. There's a video I did about the different ways that you can claim asylum here in Canada, or whichever country you find yourself. So one of the points, or one of the process you can use your visitor's visa to probably become legal in a country is through filing for an asylum. And filing for an asylum, definitely you need to have a story to tell. You need to have what is chasing you from your country. Why are you seeking for asylum? Is your life in danger and all that? So that's one of the reasons or one of the channels that you can use to make yourself legal here in Canada. The second one, if you are here with a visitor's visa, because one disadvantage of the visitor's visa is you are not allowed to work. And if you find yourself as an immigrant or maybe in a foreign country and all that with a visitor's visa, you are not allowed to work because it doesn't come with a work permit. So definitely, even if you have to work, it cannot be, exactly the kind of work that probably you'll be expecting. Probably maybe like under the table kind of job. Maybe you work in a farm or you work in a factory. But all these things are like on the ground. You can, because one, with a temporary resident visa, like I said, you are not legal to work, so it comes without, you don't have a work permit to work legally. So to be able to survive is, like I mentioned earlier, asylum. So the second one that I was talking about is through marriage, yeah? Probably you have someone here that maybe agrees to marry you. The person, if the person is a permanent resident or the person is a Canadian citizen and agrees to marry you, yeah, definitely with that, the person can file for you to becoming a permanent resident and eventually a citizen. Basically, the person has to fulfill some conditions that he or she is able to take care of your welfare while you are here, and the person will show proof that yes, equal to the tax to provide for this person's welfare and all that. So if you get someone to marry you or maybe a common law partner, yes, definitely you'll be granted a permanent resident. Another one quickly, which is the third point I want to make here, is a true job offer. If you are here with a temporary resident visa in Canada, or maybe you call it a visitor's visa, if you have a company that can give you a job offer and the company agrees to sponsor you, then definitely you'll be granted a permanent resident here in Canada. So the permanent resident comes in form, the job offer will come in form of an LMIA. The company will definitely file for you for LMIA, which is an acronym for Labor Market Impact Assessment. And that Labor Market Impact Assessment is the company will file for you. That's the company that's giving you the job offer. And they say, okay, yes, we need this person. And for the fact that you're already here in Canada, it makes it slightly easier, because that one is like maybe a permit for them to seek for talent outside Canada, having looked within Canada without securing such talent. So with that, you'll be able to qualify for permanent residency. This one make I talk for pidgin English, like the marriage on why I talk and this job offer. Get people where they arrange them. I don't know them, but people they do underground. They collect money. Some they collect like $10,000, $15,000. Yes, if you feel pay, they do arranging marriage. Some they do arranging job offer and they go but you go pay them and they will give you all the documents where you want. I just use code they speak this one for pidgin English, so now will be my people for back home now understand. I am we continue for Obodo Yibo. So the fourth one I'm going to be speaking about is the provincial nominee program. Yeah, we have provinces within Canada that probably, if they see your talent and all that, even if you are, they have, pathways, even as a temporary resident, that if you follow such pathways, you qualify for them to nominate you for permanent residency here in Canada. So that's another one. Another one, number 5, quickly, is family sponsorship. If you have a family here in Canada, even if you have traveled from Canada to, from wherever you are into Canada, and you have a family here, and the family is a permanent resident or a Canadian citizen, that family member can sponsor you. Yeah, you just need to meet some criteria and just say, yes, I'll be able to provide for this person's welfare And if the person qualifies, yes, they will grant you your permanent residency. So all these things, you need to have sorted them out before coming into Canada, because the thing is, immediately you land here, bill starts running and nobody is looking at anybody. So you need to have your plans cut out before you decide to make the trip to come to Canada. The last one I want to talk about, which is the sixth one, is the Canadian Experience Class. So it's a pathway to becoming a permanent resident here in Canada, the Canadian Experience Class. So basically, how do you do that if you have a temporary resident visa? Because with that temporary resident visa, you're able to come into Canada, but you cannot stay more than 6 months. So what do you do? So to get the Canadian experience, it's just for you to say, I have a Canadian experience that's up to 1 year. That you have worked in Canada for up to 1 year. So that qualifies you for the pathway of the Canadian Experience Class. And most international students that come into Canada to school, they follow this pathway to get permanent residency. So what does it mean? And with what's it called, the temporary resident visa, you are not able to work. So how do you get the Canadian experience? So basically, you can do volunteer work. You can decide to go and work for a charity or work for a company, but they will not be paying you because it's not legal. You are just offering the service free of charge, pro bono. Another thing is internship. You can work with a company and say, okay, you just want to work. They will not pay you, more like an internship. In Africa, we'll call it, or Nigeria, we'll call it IT, industrial training. But yeah, they call it internship or co-op. You can work there, gain the experience. Yeah, you just have documents to back up that, okay, this person worked here and all. So that's a Canadian experience. You just need it for 1 year. Another thing is professional development. You can have professional courses here and there. You attend the courses, but the courses must not be more than 6 months. You understand? Any course that you decide to attend here with your temporary resident visa must not be more than 6 months. And since you need a 1 year Canadian experience, so probably maybe you need to go and come back again. You just need to cross the border and come back, then continue again. Another fresh 6 months start counting. And you can do a professional development course. There are trainings, courses everywhere. You just attend and all that. So that can be counted as a Canadian experience too, provided the course is held here in Canada. Another thing is remote work. Since the advent of COVID and all that, most of the work that they do online, they do these days after COVID, most of it are online. So basically, you can do such work. If you are doing an online work and all that, basically, you don't need a work permit in most cases to do such jobs. You don't need a work permit. So you can look for online work that you can do, and that one can count as your Canadian experience. So why did I decide to do this video? I decided to do this video because now the route that most people are using to come to Canada before, which is through the school route, has become increasingly difficult. You understand? A friend and a brother chatted me this morning how they already got admission, applied for visa, they were denied, and they asked them to apply again, and now you have to get a PAL. Yeah, with all this whole policy started in January. I did a video where I said international students, things have become a bit difficult because now, last year, 500,000 international students came into Canada. And Canada is having this housing problem because a lot of people are coming into Canada and there's not enough provision for housing for them. That's why you see the cost of property, housing, everything, rent is, in fact, is outrageous. That's to put it, to say the least. So now they want to cut international students that are coming into Canada by, I think, 30 or 35%. So basically, like I said, last year, 500,000 students came into Canada. So this year, 2024 and 2025, they are reducing it by 30%. So they are taking slightly over 300,000. And now that's going to come with apportionment. So they will share quotas to each province, and the province, will share it to each school. Maybe a school that is taking 200 or 300 people before, they'll say, okay, you can't take more than 100. So the school will decide how they bring in the 100 people. So it's now it's extremely difficult. Now they will look at those people that can pay their fees complete. Before now, you just pay part of the fees. You come into Canada and you are working and you are paying the remaining fees. But now, I think this is just my personal, how do I put it? So basically, schools will just look at maybe people that can pay the fees completely, maybe a yardstick or criteria they will use, So it's extremely difficult. So a lot of people are coming into Canada now, and they just come with this visitors visa and they don't know what else to do. So just like I mentioned, it may be more than this, but these is six major things are the major headlines. What probably with your visitors visa here in Canada you can opt to do. In summary, the first one is you can claim asylum. Secondly, maybe you can marry by marriage. The first one is asylum, like I said. The second one is by marriage, maybe your common law partner can get a partner here that can sponsor you. The third one is if you have a job offer from a company, the company can sponsor you. The third one is provincial nominee program. Each provinces they are doing their PNP program that provides pathways to becoming permanent residents. So be lucky if you create your profile, a province will just pick you up depending on your talent. Family sponsorship, if you have a family here in Canada, the family member, if it's a permanent resident or if the person is a Canadian citizen already, person can sponsor you. And Canadian experience, which was the last point I explained, which is the sixth one. You can get the Canadian experience because with your temporary resident visa, you cannot work legally. You don't have a work permit. So how do you get the experience for 1 year? Just like I explained, you can do through volunteer work, through internship, through professional development course. We have courses everywhere. You just apply and attend such courses. And I would advise that you don't just come into Canada before you apply for the courses. Have arranged for those courses before you come into Canada so that when you are coming, we coincide with when the course is starting so that you are able to maximize the 6 months period on your visa requirement. And you can do remote work too. Most work online these days, you just do it. Yes, you don't need a work permit to do that. So thank you for watching, and if you have any question, you can just put in the comment section and I will answer you. If you don't want to put in the comment section, you can send me a DM. I'll definitely reply you. Just like I always say, on to the next one. Bye for now.